Comic book fans, welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your Evelyn Shorty. Today we're going to be looking at another one of the X-Men books. It feels like this week and last week and probably every week for the next month or so going forward, we're going to get an X-Men book and a Jason Aaron book. That's fine. They're both fantastic things, and so far I've not been disappointed by anything they've done. This one is NYX. And it's got an absolutely brilliant opening for me. Like probably one of the best ones for a while. Actually it opens with a title page, which is also really useful for me, because I've never read any NYX comic books before. And I kind of made the assumption that there's a character called NYX and I just wasn't aware of. It feels like his kind of name an X-Men would have. But I was looking at his cover and it's like I kind of recognise most of the people on here. I wasn't 100% sure who this fellow was. But you then find out, because they don't really hide it too much, that NYX is just his New York X-Men. And I'm like, oh, that does make more sense. Really annoyed I didn't figure that out myself. But thank you for putting that in there. I now am caught up. Then you turn the page and you get an absolutely beautiful piece of work. It is a 9-panel page. It is the most bold colouring and the most bold artistic choices in the entire book. They use graffiti as a motif throughout it, and it looks brilliant. There's a weird narrative throughout which doesn't 100% match with the narration, but it makes sense as we're going through it. And then you turn the page and you get a thoroughly embiggened Kamala Khan, sorry, I've got Kamala Harris on my mind at the moment, Kamala Khan, standing on a suspension bridge. I'm not sure which one, but it is a brilliant bit of artwork. I love the fact they makes use of really nice multi-point perspective. I like the fact that whoever did the artwork for it, I'll check the name on that one, Mortarino, clearly understands what suspension bridges look like. I don't. You ask me to draw suspension bridges, there's a whole bunch of detail I miss, and also, I'd just be bad at it. They do a really, really good job. It's amazing. Unfortunately, it is the most impressive, single pages of the comic book artwork. I think because it's not like one of the big titles, but it is like one that people are going to pay attention to, they've played a little bit safe, sticking with the Marvel style. Not to criticise too much of that one, it looks amazing for that style. There's some really nice combat sequences, really nice understanding of lighting and shade depending on the setting for it. And also, the big thing this artist does is introduce characters. Like I've just said how cool Kamala Khan looks when you see her striding across the bridge. Every single major character gets a fantastic reveal. There's a fantastic Wolverine one, which is absolutely brilliant. Really understands how to use shadow for adding threat in where everything else has been really quite well lit, sometimes even neon lit. Really, really understands that kind of thing. Artwork-wise, yes, brilliant. Really, really like it. Story-wise, I loved almost everything about it. So I'm going to start with my actual only real criticism of the writing, and that's the ending, because it feels like for everything else that happens in this comic book, the ending is the bit where it feels far more safe for a Marvel story, for a Marvel X-Men kind of story, which is the reveal of a big bad who has evil machinations and hench people. And I'm like, oh, but I've really enjoyed everything that's happened up to this point, because it's been far more personal stories of interconnected relationships and understanding what it means to be a minority, a heavily persecuted minority within the Marvel Universe, and how important it is to basically come together and form a community, mutual aid and helping each other out. There's fantastic examples of how this works and how people play against that kind of thing, and how people use social media to help each other, but also to hinder causes if they don't believe in them. All this kind of stuff feels far more in keeping with what the comic book was trying to do, and then when you get to the back matter and read the writers talking about it, it feels like that's 100% what they were trying to do. Then just having a big X-Men villain reveal at the tail end just kind of muddied the water a little bit. I'm sure it's going to pay off down the line, but I wanted more of what the main body of the comic was supposed to be about. And here we get some fantastic ways of writing, because you do get this story at the beginning, which is a monologue, and it's really well done. It is Kamala leaving a voicemail message to a friend of hers, explaining what she's been up to because she hasn't seen her friend for a while. Brilliant way of just catching us all up by using an in-world, diegetic is the phrase for it, way of doing it. But better than that is the actual interaction between characters. Because don't get me wrong, I do like boxed-out narration. Jason Aaron is really good for that, with a noir feel to it. This doesn't go anywhere near that. It's light-hearted and it's fun. And the funniness really comes across effectively. My favourite bit in the entire comic book is one of the Cuckoo Girl's sisters has taken Kamala out to a nightclub and is criticising the fact that she is not dressed for a nightclub. Something along the lines of, no offence, but you look like you've just come from a bake sale. Kamala's response to that is, and I'm trying to remember the exact wording because it's absolutely brilliant, oh, no offence, I literally have cookies in my pockets. And there's something about that which just cuts to the quick on who the character is. The Cuckoo is kind of an edgy character. I could get into some detail about like how she speaks compared to how if a man said the same thing, they responded to differently. But there's a bit of Kamala where she wants to be hanging out with the cool girls, and I get that. But she also just wants to make friends, and at no point does the edginess of the Cuckoo Sister affect her, because she just doesn't see it that way, and because of that, she softens the edges on the Cuckoo. It's really, really effective writing. It shows very simple but effective character growth, and that kind of interplay is what I wanted. The ending didn't do that, but I'm hoping it's going to just carry on being about all these amazing people and amazing characters. That's it for now. I've got loads more to review this week. Make sure your social media things don't miss any of them. Until I see you again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye!